Hi guys, it's been a minute since my last video. I hope you're having a good holiday season and you had a wonderful Christmas. I'm just going to have a little bit of a chat on what I think should happen with our town Slough. I've got some good ideas on what should be actually happening with Slough rather than what is happening with Slough at the moment. I don't know if this is possible, but right now our town is sunken into the floor and I am worried about Slough, very worried indeed. The way it's going, everything closing down, the drug addicts all over the place, people taking crack up their nose, to alcoholism, to violence, to absolute mental cases that have just floored our town. I believe, now I could be wrong on this, from Southall and Britwell and also really rough bits of London have come into our town and many other rough areas of England, I imagine, and completely floored it down to the ground. I think there's a solution for this, and it's called As Grown-ups Would Do in Mind, Spirit and Body. Proper grown-ups, not the ones that grow up and develop on the body, but the ones that develop in mind, body and spirit. Now what needs to happen, Islam needs to come back. It's been like this for 6 years. People come in and out of it, they're very shocked. They're horrified at what they find with our high street, and it is not on. What needs to happen is there needs to be a constant police presence in Slough itself, the high street, and every other part of Slough. We need to put brand new cameras up to arrest the people taking coke up their nose, which is the white powder that looks like sherbet, and needles in their arms. It's not right. And then, of course, we need to also have a restructure of Slough. Marks and Spencer, I think it was back in April, but don't quote me on it, this year, 2022, in Easter or near Easter, tried to come back and they tried to reopen. And they were supposed to open the week after that, and they never did. In fact, they had to close the whole project down because a bunch of folks from other towns came into our town and they were too scared to pop it back up. They were worried about it getting vandalised, and there's a lot of bullying going on, violence, and people that just don't like people from Slough in general, to be honest with you. And I found there was a few instigators these last 5 years who have been in Slough for many years, and they've been waiting for the right time to attack Slough and the people in it, and I don't understand that either. So it's very troubling, very worrying, and I am quite worried for Slough now in the UK. There's a lot of swearing, a lot of bad language, people from Slough are quarrelling, falling out with each other. It's just gotten diabolical. Now, there are people coming in that are good people, genuinely, from other towns that are lovely, but there's nothing they can do either, and I feel very helpless because all the stuff has been escalating for a long time now. But yes, sorry, a bit gas there. But I am worried. I'm very worried about it, you know. And then, of course, you get the bullying around my road where I live, and people will stand outside for hours on end, wolf whistling in general, swearing and laughing and shouting all night long, just standing there in the freezing cold. They'll go around the back. I came back once from the town and people were looking in the downstairs windows right down the end where our hotel is, the Premier Inn, and they were just basically whistling, harassing the residents, and there wasn't any police around. It's dreadful. We need police back again, and we need them to have authority over the town. because this is ridiculous. This cannot be allowed to go on anymore. There's disorder, chaos, and it seems like it's getting worse and worse. Now, you go down the town sometimes for a bit of grocery shopping, because we have an Iceland's, and then we have a Superdrug, Boots, and WH Smith, Wilkinson, so a couple of shops, Tesco, but nothing feels the same. And a Savers, but every other store is closing down. Businesses can't survive because the drug addicts and the drunks come through to the shops, and they just won't leave anybody alone. They're really horrible. Some of them come in begging for money, and some of them are genuinely homeless, and I do feel bad for them, don't get me wrong. But yeah, there's been an extreme aggression with Slough for 5 years, since 2018 April, and nothing's changed. It's just gotten worse and worse, you know. But you do get the decent people that are okay, and sometimes you go out, you don't get bothered or anything, and it's all right. And then other times it's absolutely ridiculous, people in your face swearing and everything. And most of the people in Slough have moved out of Slough. It's that bad. It's going on all over Slough, not just our road. It's ridiculous, and something needs to change. But I don't really know how to do that, and it's incredibly worrying, you know, to see our town go the way it has. I don't know what to do anymore. I grew up in Slough, and I have never seen Slough go like this in my life. And if I don't talk up about Slough, no one else will cover the subject. People get nervous, they get worried, they get paid off. It's just horrible what's gone down, you know, and it's such a shame, because we did have a respectable town, and it was really friendly and nice right up until April, when these funny people started showing up, 2018. So you can see it's been going on for some time. So, yeah, so I thought I'd have a good old chat about that, because I am concerned about it. And having a chat gets it off my chest. And it also is a good way to filter things through. If things don't change, I might have to move away from Slough myself, which will be very sad. Everything has changed in our town. In fact, it's terrible. The only thing they do right for the town is the Christmas lights. Beautiful, really A1, really well done. But I'd rather see the town come back and be respectable again and friendly the way it used to be. I'm not saying don't have a drunken night, or everyone gets those, or a mood swing or what have you. That's fine, you know. But when it's constant, there's something really wrong with that, you know. And people are slathered drunk by 6 o'clock in the morning. I've gone for a bacon sandwich and a hot chocolate. We have a bakery called, oh gosh, what's it called? Greg's. And I got my hot chocolate and sometimes a bacon roll, sausage roll in there for my breakfast. And people are just off their face drunk already at 6 in the morning. And some of them are okay, pretty harmless drunks. And then we get the aggressive ones, the abusive ones as well. So, I don't know, something needs to change with our town. It's extremely bad. And bad isn't even the word, diabolical. Yeah, diabolical. Anyway, it's a shame. It was known for a nice, peaceful town with a few shops. You know, it's changed completely from what it used to be. And where my mum used to be, I believe people went round a couple of years ago smashing up windows and that where people were living. Gangs used to come in with knives and chains. It's unbelievable, it really is. And it's got a bit more quiet around this area recently. I don't know if it's because of the Christmas holidays and people have gone away for Christmas, or it's just, you know, a little bit more peaceful and some of the funny people have moved out. What I mean by funny is mentally disturbed people have moved out. they need to be put back in the clinic again, I think. It's not funny. Anyway, some of them are just absolutely off their rocker, and they're dangerous as well. All right, then, they're not harmless. If they were harmless, I'd be like, oh, well, they're harmless, but they're not. They can be aggressive as well, and physically aggressive too. But nobody is talking about this subject, and I just thought I'd address it because so many people have come into now saying it's absolutely off its rocker. People are totally mentally disturbed, and I'm not even joking. It's very troubling indeed. Anyway, I had a nice peaceful Christmas, but I also had someone outside doing the wolf whistles and laughing and swearing, so it kind of dampened it a little for me. And yesterday and a little bit this morning too. So we've never caught them. They hide out, and it's getting to the point where it's getting at breaking point here, you know. Anyway, at least the shouting, the screaming and the breakings in the garden seem to have stopped. Whether or not they continue to stop, I don't know. But yeah, I think I covered everything I need to say for now. But we need to stop this happening to Slough, and we need to bring it back if possible. And we need to get some investors in to properly help us out, because this is not all right what's happening. All right then, as I say, I've been here living in 30 years in my flat, maybe longer, since 2000, the millennium. And people didn't act this way before. It's really a shock, you know. And yeah, so there's that. Anyway, not knowing what to do, how to bring the police back, how to bring everything back that we had, how to bring our Marks and Spencer food shop back into Slough, Clary's accessories, Next, everything. They've got a few shops. I wouldn't call them shops. They're roller skate shops. It's like a 15-year-old kid has run things for 5 years. It's ridiculous. Roller skate shops, ping pong halls, and a lot of shouting going on and swearing and abusive behaviours. As well as the unmentionables, and you know who they are, doing the same thing. In fact, they brought the drugs in, and at one time there were a lot of drug dealers around, and it was the unmentionables that did it. And I'm very angry about that with them as well, and they need to be punished as well. Anyway, so I'm not going to say it / free speech, if you know what I mean, but yeah, they're totally evil. Anyway, it's a shame because you get some good ones come in, and they're lovely, absolutely decent and lovely. They do wonderful things, and they're really nice. But then you get the absolute thugs in our town, and it's horrible. It really is, and it's not on. And these are consisting of white people as well that are taking the drugs and dealing drugs also, as well as the unmentionables. I'm not going to say it because obviously free speech, but if someone has something to hide, they wouldn't want you to talk about it, put it that way, or the person doing it. They'd cover it up. And if they had nothing to hide, then they would let free speech reign. And that's all I'm saying on the topic. All right then. Well, you take care of yourselves, and I just thought I'd have a good old rant. It's been some time, hasn't it, since I've had a good old rant. And yeah, have a lovely new year, 2023, and yeah, 2023, and maybe I'll do another video. I never know whether I'm going to do another video or not, but someone needs to run that's going to get stuff done. Proper grown-up stuff. A grown-up would not want to see the town fall apart. A grown-up would not want thugs to come in and stop the shops from prospering. A grown-up would not want the businesses to close down because they're scared of the thugs around our town now. And a and the bus depot, they're not saying it, but I think a rocket got put in the silver, I think it was an octopus, and it went right over the bus stop. That's gone blown up. And they're saying, oh no, it's a bus blown up or backfired, but it wouldn't have created that damage. I think someone blew that up. But with a firework, whether they did it intentionally, who knows? They're dangerous. All right then. But we haven't got everyone like that. Some people are absolutely friendly. They come in, they're harmless, they're okay. And we do have some really good people too who see what's going on but are scared to come forward. Anyway, you take care of yourselves, and maybe another video or maybe not. I don't know. Anyway, I thought I'd have a good old rant about that. And it's been 44 minutes, I think it is. And I just thought I'd talk about some really important stuff today. So, yes, but it's a shame, you know, it's really bad. Our Queensmere arcade is totally empty nearly. Everything's closing down. Starbucks in the high street closed down. They actually were too worried. They were getting bullied as well. A lot of people getting bullied, a lot of cover-ups going on. And no, it's not on the news. And it should be. All right, then, you think it would be a priority, actually, Slough. It's one of the worst towns I've ever seen go down. I feel so sad about it and angry. There's a mixture of emotions, really, and firm that we can turn things around because we need to. All right, then, whether or not we do, I don't know. I wish I could get in somehow in power and try and turn things around for Slough, because at the moment it's at a dead end and it is hopeless. It just feels hopeless. All right then. Well, you take care, and sorry I get a bit emotional, upset about it. All right. Bye then, guys. Take care of yourselves.